Okay, so we have 4 quarters and these are the demands, and the demand is production because there is no initial inventory and there is no safety stock, so production is equal to demand. So now regular time capacity is, we just calculated that, which is 161.2. Right? So then actual regular time production is the smaller of the two. Okay. If what we need is smaller than capacity, then we produce exactly what is needed. But if production needed is more than the capacity, then you can only produce capacity. Okay. So here again is capacity. So you end up with a shortage. The shortage is, first is 0, 180 minus 161.2 will give you a shortage of 18.8. Okay, and here it will be 220 minus 161.2, that will give you 58.8, and then 200 minus 161.2 will give you 38.8 as the shortage. Now we have to make up this shortage using overtime and subcontract. Okay, so now we have these shortages that we need to make up. So we need to look at the overtime capacity, which is 32.2. So overtime production is the smaller of these two, because there is nothing there, smaller of these two, so 18.8. Here the smaller of the two is 32.2, and here again smaller is 32.2. So the balance will have to be subcontracting production. Subcontracting is shortage minus how much is produced using overtime production. So this is 0, that's 0. So here 58.8 minus 32.2 must be produced using subcontracting. So that is 26.8, and here again is 38.8 minus 32.2, which is 6.8. So now we can compute the total overtime production is 82.8, and subcontracting production is 33.6. Okay. Now we can set up the cost summary. Of course, these fractional numbers could be a problem, but since the problem says that you round to 2 decimal places, we'll leave it as that. Okay, so regular wages is, we have 31 workers for 4 quarters. We have to pay them for 4 quarters at the rate of 7,800. So this will give us 967,200. Now overtime cost is 82.8 units times overtime cost per unit. We calculated the cost of producing the product in overtime, and that was $2,000. So multiply by $2,000 will give us 165,600. Now subcontracting cost is 33.6 units times subcontracting cost is given as $2,500 per unit. So multiply by 2,500. So that will give us 84,000. Okay. Now hiring cost is we have 31 workers. Initially we had 30 workers. So that's the number of workers hired times 350 will give you 350. And firing cost is 0 because we are not firing anybody. And carrying cost is also 0 because there is no safety stock. So this total is 1,217,150. So this is the cost for the mixed plant.